Hi, Dave Schardt here from Forgeline Motorsports, and we're over at our friends at Harrop who make the really cool superchargers and brakes and that type of stuff. And we're here to talk to you today about how hubs and how hub length can affect all kinds of things, including what type of cap you can use, the offset of the wheel, what lip size, the concavity of the wheel. Most people don't understand how much the hub length affects all of those things and why we're always persistent in getting accurate measurements of the hub. We have 3 vehicles here at Harrop and 3 different types of hubs. So the hub on the Monero here is similar to like a C7 hub, where it basically doesn't have any protrusion. It has the 1/2-inch hub, but there's nothing else that sticks up. Typically easy to fit. The second hub is a medium-sized hub. It's on a Mercedes over here, and I would say it's maybe less than 1 inch tall. And then we have a C10 truck, which is similar to the 70s and 80s stock vehicles. If you're not changing your suspensions and putting Detroit Speed or Speed Tech or something on it, and it doesn't have a short C7 hub, you're gonna have this big, tall, 2.5-inch hub. And we're gonna show you how all of those things can affect all the attributes of the wheel. Fortunately, Harrop at their technical center right next door to us had their awesome Monero up on the lift, and so we're able to do some demonstrations here. Here I have a wheel, and this is like a minimum amount of pad. If you can see, this pad is not very, very tall. We don't have a lot of cap clearance. You're able to get, on a lot of occasions, a lot more lip because of that. You know, it has some brake clearance still, but it doesn't have a lot of cap clearance. In order for a wheel like this to fit, it needs to have a short hub like this or like a C7 hub. And you'll see, you know, we don't have a lot of cap clearance. We put it on here. We still have some brake clearance. You put it on there, we have no issues. Cap stays in, wheel seats nicely, and we're ready to go. The next hub we're going to talk about is on this C10. It's a worst case scenario. On these older vehicles, these hubs can be over 2.5 inches, which is a lot of hub that we have to clear. And just to be dramatic, I'm going to show you, if you don't have enough pad to cover this, what's going to happen. We're going to stick this same wheel that happened to fit on the Monero over there with the short hub. We're going to put it on here. And when you try and put it on, it actually pushes the cap completely out because you just don't have enough clearance. Simple as that. The last example hub we're going to talk about is a medium-sized hub, like on the front of this really cool 190E. This is about 1 inch, 1.25 inches, which is similar to the length of most modern Corvette. On the rear axles, it has a stub axle that sticks out like 1.25 inches. It doesn't look like it's a lot, but you take this wheel with this pad on it, I think you're not going to have any problem at all. But as you can see, we're not quite there. It's just trying to push the cap out, which eventually that cap will come flying out as you try and drive. We obviously need a little bit more clearance there. So how are we going to make your wheels fit those taller hubs? There's 2 ways to do that. The first way is to engineer the center with a longer, larger pad to give us more clearance. And to explain that a little bit easier is it's just like adding a spacer. So if you add a spacer to this hub right here, it's about 1.5 inch spacer, you're going to add 1.5 inches of clearance. So if we put this on the Mercedes, you could bolt that wheel right up and it would be fine. But what happens there is you're actually spacing the wheel out by that same distance. Then you're going to have to fix that. You're going to have to either reduce the lip size or you're going to reduce the concavity on a concave wheel, which most people don't want to do. If you don't want to do that, you can change the cap. And we've got all kinds of different caps. Like this is a really tall cap. That would probably work on a combination of 2 things. We can remove some of the pad. We have medium height caps. We have flat caps. We have all kinds of different styles of caps and all kinds of different heights. So the combination of machining the pad to the correct offset and giving you some or all of your clearance there, and then either a flat cap if you want that flat cap with the more clearance underneath, or the cap on the outside to give you the clearance on top. Between pad thickness and cap heights, we can engineer a wheel that will fit almost every hub. Don't forget, there's always the brake that's involved in there too, so we're going to ask you those dimensions as well. So I hope this helps you understand why, when you're doing a custom set of wheels, why we're so adamant in getting all those measurements, especially that hub measurement.